Good morning, students of Standard 10. Today we are going to study Chapter 1, Life Processes, Respiration, Breathing. It is the process of inhaling of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide. Students, breathing actually is the process of inhaling of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide. Students, we can understand this concept with the help of this picture. Students, in this picture, we can notice that the person is inhaling the oxygen. That means inhaling. That is, the oxygen is taken inside the body, and this process is called as inhalation or inhaling. And students, if you concentrate on this picture, then you can notice that the person is releasing the carbon dioxide out. Students, this process is called as exhalation or exhaling. So students, we came to know that inhalation and exhalation taken collectively is called as breathing. Respiration. It is the process of oxidation of food to release energy in the form of ATP. Students, respiration is the process of oxidation of food. Students, when we say oxidation of food, then it is actually the splitting of the food so that the energy is released, and the energy is released in the form of ATP. Now students, this concept will become more clear with the help of this picture which you can see. Students, here we can notice a cell within which there is presence of cytoplasm and even the mitochondria. Students, this is the mitochondria. And here this is the cytoplasm. So students, the respiration here is taking place not only in the cytoplasm but also in the mitochondria, and as a result the energy is released, which you can see here is released in the form of ATP. Respiration is of two types: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration, it is a type of respiration in which oxidation of food does not require presence of oxygen. So students, actually anaerobic respiration is the type of respiration where for the splitting of food to release energy in the form of ATP, there is no requirement of oxygen. Aerobic respiration, it is a type of respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen. So students, we can say that aerobic respiration is the type of respiration where there is a requirement of oxygen. So students, we can say that aerobic respiration requires oxygen for its completion. The following are the steps of aerobic respiration: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and etc. Students, glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondria. And students, electron transport chain ETC takes place in the inner membrane of mitochondria. So students, taken collectively, these all steps form the aerobic respiration. Glycolysis. It is the process in which partial oxidation of food takes place and which occurs in cytoplasm. So students, in glycolysis, the food gets splitted only partially. So we can say that food does not get fully oxidized in the process of glycolysis. And students, the process of glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. Students, this concept of glycolysis will become more clear if we concentrate on this picture and we note it here, the presence of glucose. So students, in the process of glycolysis, actually one glucose molecule gets converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid, which you can see here, and pyruvic acid further gets converted into acetyl CoA. Students, but in the conversion of glucose to the pyruvic acid, there are presence of huge number of systemic that is step-wise step sequence of processes taking place in the glycolysis. Krebs cycle. It is the process in which complete oxidation of food takes place, and it occurs in matrix of mitochondria. So students, Krebs cycle actually is the process in which the food gets split into energy in the form of ATP, and which takes place in the matrix of mitochondria. So students, this is the process in which the acetyl CoA, which has been formed from the pyruvic acid, further forms the NAD and thereafter releases the energy in the form of fat and NADH. So students, this is how the energy is released in the Krebs cycle. ETC. It stands for electron transport chain, and it takes place in the inner membrane of mitochondria. Students, ETC, that is electron transport chain, is also one of the most important steps of aerobic respiration, and this takes place in the inner membrane of mitochondria. So students, this membrane which you are seeing here, this is the inner membrane of mitochondria, where by the process of huge number of systematic steps, finally the energy is released. Human respiratory system. It comprises of following parts. So students, in this picture you can notice the human respiratory system and various parts of human respiratory system. Nostrils. It is an aperture by which air enters into human respiratory system. Students, here the nasal cavity can be treated as the nostrils. So students, it is actually the aperture by which the air is entering inside the human respiratory system, that is the lungs and other organs present in human respiratory system. Pharynx. It is common pathway for food and air. Students, if we concentrate in the picture, you can notice a specific structure here which is named as pharynx and which is acting as a common pathway for the air and for the food also. So students, pharynx acts as a common pathway for food and air. Larynx. The air from larynx enters into larynx and which further leads air to trachea. Students, this concept of larynx will become more clear when we notice here the pharynx which is leading the air to the larynx and larynx is further leading the air to the trachea. So students, we can say the air from the pharynx enters into the larynx and thereafter the larynx leads the air to the trachea. Trachea. It's a tube-like structure which further leads the air to bronchus. Since trachea is actually a tube-like structure and due to which it is also called as windpipe. Students, in this picture you can clearly notice here this particular tube-like structure is the trachea, which is also called as windpipe and which further leads the air to the bronchus. Bronchus. It is connected to alveolar duct and the air enters alveoli by it. Since bronchus is one of the important parts of the human respiratory system, where bronchus is connected to the alveolar duct and due to which the air from the bronchus enters into the alveoli by it. So students, here you can notice the bronchus here and this bronchus are leading the air into the alveoli. Students, these are the alveoli via the alveolar duct. So students, you can notice here that the alveolar duct is the connecting link between the bronchus and the alveoli. Students, this is the alveoli. So students, in this picture you can clearly find that the alveolar duct is the connecting link between the bronchus and the alveoli and due to which the air from the bronchus enters into the alveoli by alveolar duct. Alveoli. It is a sac-like structure which is highly vascularized and so contribute in exchange of gases. Since alveoli is a sac-like structure, that is a small bag-like structure. Students, in this picture also you can notice it's written alveoli here, which is appearing like a small bag-like structure and which is highly vascularized, that is, it is highly supplied with blood vessels so that it can help in the exchange of gases. So students, exchange of gases is totally dependent upon the blood vessels present in the alveoli. Students, now let's discuss important question. Why glycolysis is called as EMP pathway? Glycolysis was discovered by scientists like Embedden, Meyerhoff and partners. That is why it's called as EMP pathway. Thank you, students.